Even though the Bismarck area is running below average for precipitation since the first of the year, that does not mean people still aren't dealing with water problems. KX News reporter Robert Suhr went to one area dealing with water coming out of the ground rather than falling from the sky.
The city of Lincoln has a water problem, more specifically a groundwater problem. Now, you can thank the wet fall for those issues. But while residents here continue to pump water out of their basements, city leaders have taken new steps to take that water and get it out of the city. Lincoln is a victim of its own success. As the population continues to grow, so does the need to build new homes. And a good portion of the city was built on top of sand, allowing water to easily drain through the soil. But as that water hits clay further down, it's dammed up with nowhere to go. So it seeps into people's basements. Basements like Tom Volk's.
We had to do whatever we could to keep it from getting in, and we had to waterproof the basement floors. We had to remodel some of the basement and things like that just to make sure that we would keep the water out. And then we actually had to redo all of our 2x4s on the bottom because they got all moldy and they got, kind of rotted out and things like that.
He showed me his basement has 3 sump pumps, all timed specifically to move as much water out of his house as possible. And it's not just him. Dozens of homes across the city are having the same issue. So much so that drainage pipes in people's front yards look like snakes.
My neighbor right across from me foreclosed on her home because she could no longer afford to keep replacing the remodeling the basement. So she had to foreclose on her home because she had to keep remodeling her basement, and she was sticking a lot of money into her basement, and she could just no longer do it.
And all that drainage comes with unexpected consequences. As people pump their water onto the street, it freezes, resulting in significant damage to infrastructure. But there is new hope. The city recently spent over $77,000 to install 5 new pumping stations across the city to drain that groundwater out to alleviate the seepage problem.
We're taking out roughly 170,000 gallons a day, 1 million gallons a week out of the ground, and we're hoping this takes care of the problem.
And it might be starting to work. As Volk tells me, he's hearing the constant hum of his pumps less and less.
It's actually more eerie now. So we were so used to the pumps running that now that they're quiet and not really on, we always come down here to check on them because we think maybe they're broken or they're not working. And it's just phenomenal that this water's been removed. And our water table must have been drawn down a lot because we can hardly time these pumps anymore.
City officials tell me they had to do something because it was starting to depreciate home values. And for a city that's looking to grow and get valuable census funding, soggy basements and lowering home values was the last thing they needed. Reporting for KX News in Lincoln, I'm Robert Suhr.
Lincoln City leaders tell KX News while things may be improving now, above average spring rainfall could bring back many of these issues. And if you're wondering where they're putting all of the water that they're pumping out, it's going into Apple Creek, not the lagoons, because the creek can handle that kind of volume.